Yeah.
I could not do it. I couldn't click on it. Like there was I copy and pasting going to a different browser. It not working for me.
Someone had trouble. They said when they right clicked. Did you guys hear me? You're gonna need this for later. If you right click on it, she was able to then say go open link or something like that. So try that and see if that works.
Mine didn't work that way. If for some reason I have like the mouse pad, I don't have like the mouse to right click it, even using the mouse pad, it wouldn't work. I was having a horrible time with it.
Huh.
So I don't know if that's my Chromebook, so I don't know if that is.
Okay, how about, so, are you able to, we'll talk about it, but hopefully you get, some of the links we're going to need, that link is not important, but there are going to be other links that are going to be important, and those are going to be accessible from our syllabus and Canvas, so hopefully you can get a Canvas, and we can make it work from there.
Okay.
Okay, good. Let's see. Other thing, like I said, one person, this is totally wrong. There definitely will be exams in the class, and they're going to be on Canvas using Proctorio, which records video of you that only I can see. So I'll be the only one who can see that, but we do need you to have the video on. If for some reason, if you don't have a webcam and you can't borrow one from the library, then it is possible for you to do the test in Proctorio without video and Zoom with me on your phone at the same time, so that's a possibility if we need to do that. And then textbook requirements. Oh, there's a big range of that. Wow. Okay, so at least one person thought that you need a hard copy of the textbook. You do not need a hard copy of the textbook. You don't need one at all. There's an e-copy available online when you have your online access. Someone else thought you need a hard copy and on online access from the bookstore, so you don't have to have that. You don't need the hard copy. A few people thought that if you purchase Connect Math before and used it for statistics at LPC, that you have to buy it again. You do not have to buy it again. If you purchase Connect Math, I'm going to say this one time, so pay attention. If it applies to you. If you're retaking statistics here at Las Positas, and you've taken it in the last 2 years, so it means fall of 2018 or 2019 or this last spring 2020, and you purchased online Connect Math at that time. Some of them didn't use Connect Math. But if you took a class that required Connect Math and you purchased it then, you do not have to buy it again. If it says that your subscription has run out, email me. I just need your name and your email. Sorry, your name and your username, and I can send it on to our publisher people and get you a new code to replace that. So you don't have to buy it again, as long as you purchased it once. Great. So C is correct. You only need online access, which can be purchased online or in the bookstore. And last one, this was one thing. After every lecture, you must. Okay, so these are things that are not true. Right. So the first one. Office hours are drop-in, come by just to ask a question and say hi, that's totally true. B, you must sign up for Connect Math by September 7th, or you may be dropped out of class, that's also true. D, after every lecture you must upload pictures of handouts saved as PDF on Canvas for half your attendance participation grade, that's also true, you have to. So yeah, you absolutely have to upload your pictures of handouts in class. And the last one, no one picked this one, but this is also true. You're allowed 2 emergencies, so you can miss class twice and will not affect your grade. Just because life happens and emergencies happen sometimes. So you're allotted 2 emergencies and your grade is not docked. And this is the correct answer. You can never do homework and still get an A in the class. That's not true because homework is worth 25% of your class. I've made homework worth more this semester because of the nature of online and everything else. I'm making the exams worth a little less, which is good for a lot of people, but it means that you have to do your homework. That's a little more important. So, showing me that you can do it in a non-stressed environment is kind of more important than this kind of weird proctorio online testing thing. Okay, great. Back to here. Yeah.
Have you, in any cases, offered extra credit?
I am, another side of this is I'm not offering extra credit this semester. I will usually have one extra credit problem on the exam itself, but in the past I've done some extra credit, but it's mostly been stuff that has been in person. I will probably offer 1 point extra credit for per exam if you sign up for and are attending, maybe 2 points extra credit. If you sign up for and are attending the online help sessions, these guys, if you sign up for and are attending the NMAT 200C or Math 100C, I might give like 1 or 2 points extra credit for that, possibly. I'll think about that. But yeah, smart shops are really not. I'm not kind of laying low on all that stuff this time. Sure. Thanks for asking. Okay. So in general, let's just some of the read from the top here, actually. Laura, Ellen, go ahead and read, just from the very beginning, from the 10%.
On average, instructors spend about 80% of their time 80% of their time lecturing to students, and 1 week later, students can recall less than 1/5 of the lecture material they're being asked to learn.
Right, that's
30% of what? 30% of what you.
That's perfect. That's good. That's good. That's good. Yep, great. Right. So 10% of what you just hear, 30% of what you see, 50% of what you watch, see, and hear. And then I'm going to switch over to Eli. Go ahead and read up from the 70%. Eli?
70% of what you do to become an active learner. Get involved, ask questions, work with your neighbors. Do the lab problem. 90% of what you explain, put in your own words.
Right? So 90% of what you, thank you, 90% of what you explain or put into your own words. That's huge. Why is that different? Why is it so big? Because, I'm going to pop off of here and talk to you guys in person again. Because, let me make myself bigger. Okay, so I did this course at UC Berkeley. Not a course, it was a conference. It was a 1-year kind of program. And one of the things we talked about was how learning occurs and how people remember things. And one of the things they talked about was working memory. So working memory, you can hold up to 7 things in working memory if they're familiar. If they're unfamiliar, if they're kind of new things, novel ideas, or you have to do some sort of mental operations on them, then you can hold maybe 3 things at most in your working memory. But things that are familiar, you can hold, they count as just, all of it counts as just 1. So, for example, learning how to drive. Now, that would count as just 1 thing, the process of driving. You've got all that down. But when you first learned how to drive, you had a steering wheel, you had all these gauges, you had mirrors, you had pedals, you had all sorts of stuff. The pedals are very different. You don't want to mix those up, right? So, and that's just on the inside of the car. So in the beginning, when you're learning how to drive, it took all of your working memory just to try to handle all of these little things. And now, you guys can get in the car and drive and not even remember it, not even think about it, because you have this really well-formed mental structure of what involves driving and how it all works together. So what's really important and why this group work is so important, I will have times when I ask you to explain to your neighbors or check in with your neighbors Don't just say, you got it, yeah, I got it, good. Because that doesn't help you any. If you explain it to them, explaining is harder than knowing. You can know something, but to have to explain it, you have to put it into your own words, and that forces you to create this clear mental structure. And that clear mental structure helps you store it into long-term memory better so you can recall it from long-term memory better. So that's why this explaining is so important. The group work and the talking and explaining to each other is so important. So that's what this 90% is about. You remember it better if you have to explain it and put it in your own words. So we're going to be doing a lot of that this class. So first, speaking of group work, there are things that happen in group work that are good that you're like, oh, I'm glad that in our group work this happened, right? So when you're working in a group, what are some things that you like to have happen? I'm not saying what you like about group work. I'm saying when you're in a group, what do you like to have happen? What's good? What are some good things? What are things that happen that are good in that group? And if you're in a group work, what are some things that you dislike when those things happen? So those are two questions I want you guys to answer in your breakout rooms. First, do a whip around. So whip around is a quick, very, very quick you just whip around and you share something about yourself. In this case, I want you to share what your favorite food is. Maybe say your name because it's hard to tell who's talking and what your favorite food is. And then I want you to make a list of your group's answers to those two questions above and designate someone to give one answer to the above questions. Make sure you have backup answers in case someone takes yours. All right, so I'm going to go and open up the breakout rooms again, and like I said, go ahead and do the whip around, what your favorite food is, and then make a list of what you like to have happen when you're in group work and what you dislike when it happens in group work, and find someone to give your group's answer. Everybody pass it. All right, welcome back, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call on people one room at a time. We'll start from the end. We'll start with room 12. So that's Eli, Elizabeth, B, and Laura. Give me one thing either that you like or that you dislike.
Like, and pretty much living working together.
Okay, you like when everybody's working
together.
Okay, when everybody is working together. When everyone is working together. Good. That's good.
Like was,
I'm just gonna, one's good because the thing about it is we have 12 groups, so I'm just gonna be taking everybody else's answers otherwise. Okay, that's perfect. So just choose one. So room 11, Ariana, Guru, Sunday, Ulysses. Can you give us one thing?
One dislike?
Sure.
Our top thing was when some don't contribute, but I don't know if you want me to go more detailed.
No, that's okay. Once people don't contribute. Yep. Perfect. And they don't contribute because they don't want to. They're not participating?
Exactly.
Okay. Refuse to participate. Okay, great. Group 10, that's Adriana, Nolan, Olivia.
One thing that we liked was staying focused on the topic and on the work at hand.
When everyone stays focused and on topic. Is that what you said? I think that's what you said.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. Room 9, Chelsea, Hanan, Serrato, or Janice?
Okay, we said that if we don't understand what the professor said, you can keep, for like,
Yeah.
we said that if we don't understand the professor, you can see someone else's perspective and then learn it their way.
Right? Okay, so I'll put it this way. When people show their way of explaining things, explaining. Yes, perfect. Or show a different way. So you meant like show a different.
Yeah, like showing just learning in a different way.
Yep. Perfect. Terrific. These are supposed to be wraparound. Format. Wrap. Yep. Great. That was 9. How about room 8? Dylan, Jalen, TJ, and Zubair?
Yeah. So to help you out with my name, it's Zubair.
Zubair.
We said for this one, we select silence, so when no one wants to show it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's not very useful, is it? It's really boring as well. I come into that a lot. Like, I'll come into a room and there's like nobody talking, and that's just like not useful at all. Great. 7, room 7. Colleen, Eddie, Jamila, Constantine.
Yeah. So what our group decided that they don't like is when someone quits on the project while it's being worked on. So before the due date, someone decides to quit.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't do their part.
Yeah.
Great. Room 6. Brenda, Sohail, Will.
One thing we dislike is like someone is not really keeping an open mind to others' perspectives.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Perspective. Okay, I can't spell. Great, that's really important. So it's really important in group work that you're open to what other people are saying and you're considering other options and other ways of looking at things. Super important. That was group 5, I think, right? So.
That was group 6.
6, okay, so group 5? Jessica?
For our group, we said for a like,
Mm-hmm.
we had said that if there's contradicting answers or work, that you have a discussion to figure out what's correct.
Yeah. Have a discussion to fight it out, or what you probably said something differently. I would say it's fight it out. Sorry, I lost what you were going with. I knew what you were kind of saying, but yeah, you're right. It's really great that I'll say sort it out. Maybe something nicer like that. But yeah, it's really great that you have different answers and you guys can talk about it and discuss it and figure out when people are open to discussing it and figuring out, coming to some sort of better understanding. Room 4. So that's Ali, Gavin, Kristen, Rossi, and Zachary. Well,
There's Ale.
Ale.
Ale, yeah.
Ale.
And then we said like on Andrew was not like doing the work, like not dividing the work evenly for a dislike.
Mm.
And one person seems to be doing a lot more work like compared to other people, and it's just not fair to that one person that they have to do most of the work for a project.
Like others. In other words, when everyone is not contributing equally. Great. Thank you. Room 3. That's Danny, Jordan, and Carla. Yep, when people are communicating and being accessible. Great. That's a great thing to do, a B. Good. Room 2. David, Grace, Megan, Serena.
So, I think so. Okay. So for us, we're talking about one of the things we dislike is when the work is divided, but then no one discusses the portion of work that they did. So you're kind of just missing a large portion.
When people don't communicate or explain their part or what they did, their contribution. People don't explain their contribution. Great, thank you. And then room 1.
All right.
Either one, just pick one that you guys. Maybe a like if you have one, since it evens it out, but either way is okay.
For likes, we chose the issues and
Mm-hmm.
thanks for liking.
Yeah. Everyone has good chemistry. Chemistry. It's long. Yeah. I think it's really important. So that's kind of why, part of why I think it's important to let you guys to pick at least one person who's in your group. Typically, it happens naturally in person, right? People kind of, they form little groups and they move around and they shift around a bit and get into a group that they work well together. And then you have those wonderful groups that are working and talking and helping each other out. And not necessarily people that they would necessarily be friends with outside of class, but people who they really get along with in class and they have a good time. So, you know, it's kind of a great thing. And so that's, you know, why I'm having you guys, like I said, mixing you guys up a lot the first few weeks, and then making sure I kind of group you into groups for a little bit, for a while, so you can kind of, you know, develop some sort of like rapport with one another before we mix you up again. But yeah, these are all really important things to make sure that you try to strive to do when working in groups, and you try to strive to not do with these dislikes over here. Try to not do these things. You try to not be silent. Try to not refuse to participate, right? And, you know, try to stay open-minded to other people's perspectives. So the next thing we're going to do, just going to kind of work into this a little bit, related to this some. We'll do something else in just another minute or two. But first off, I want to make sure you guys are aware, participation in these in all this group work that's 15% of your grade is participation. Half is on attendance, you guys being here and working in your jam boards. You're seeing that you guys participate in your jam boards and you're around and you're tuned in. And then half is based upon, so if I move you to a room and you don't move into that room and 5 minutes later you still have not moved into that room, then you probably going to lose a point because it means you're probably not here, right? So that's kind of part of my attendance stuff too. And then half is based upon turning in your completed quiz and page from class notes. So why am I reading this? Elizabeth B., please go ahead and read from every class, right here.
Every class will work on class notes with class.com. Every class activity today will start a quiz graded entirely on effort and picking up about 30. As others looking at notes or checking online,
right. So every class we're going to start off with a quiz. We're entirely just on attempting the quiz. Even if you don't get the quiz right the first time, that's okay. Just try it. And then we're going to go over the quiz. So when we go over the quiz, get ideally different colored pens to kind of keep track of what you know, what you need to review, and correct it or do it correctly. That's fine. That's great. And then upload that. That's terrific. And then we're also going to have, like I said, these class notes, and I'm going to pick a page from them for you to upload for that day. You should be doing all the class notes in class, so those should also be correct because it's stuff we're going to be doing in class and going over. All right. So there is a Google Sheets link that I'm going to give you guys, but before we get to that, someone read that first part for me, the red part there. Zubair.
What do you like to have happen in Zoom class, and what do you dislike when it happens in Zoom class?
Yep. Perfect. Great. So, chat. Where's my chat button? Right. I've got 3. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Chat. Okay, great. So here is. Am I echoing? Am I echoing a lot? Okay, just check. Okay, good. So here is a Zoom. I'm sorry, not Zoom link. Google Sheets link to this document that I was just looking at with you guys. And you'll notice below that there are these more spots down here. So you guys are going to discuss in your groups classroom etiquette, likes and dislikes. In other words, what do you like to have happen in class or in Zoom class in this case? What do you like? What do you dislike when it happens in Zoom class or in class, either one? And it's just going to be 4 minutes, and the end of 4 minutes, so at 6:25, I want you to take a break for 10 minutes and come back at 6:35. But in your breakout rooms, just in 4 minutes, do a quick group around, share what your favorite movie is, and then discuss the answers to these 2 above and type them into that Google Sheet that I gave you a link to. The link is right here. So you don't all need the link. As long as at least one of you has the link and you guys can talk about it, then that's fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up your rooms, and again, share your favorite movie, and then discuss and write in. Just type in all into those sections. Oh, let me show you. So real quickly, so they're numbered by room number. So breakout room 1 would go to 1, breakout room 2 would go to the second one, and so forth. Breakout room 3 and 4. Okay, go ahead.